way that end sort of played out with them on the high ground. I think initially when Toyo first sort of found that position, the two of them were there could have been a fight, but I think they waited a little too long. And then we had Liquid below, and then we had the follow-up of VP below. And when that happened, there was no real way for GSW to come up over the top and look down.
All right, well, thank you very much, gentlemen. Time to get the game rolling, and we are rolling into Rondo here for our next match. So without further ado, let's head to the casters.
Rolling into Rondo. Yes, let's go. Okay, guys, it is time to get into game. Rondo is the next one up.
Let's go. I'm ready. I'm always ready to Rondo. Kind of curious to see what this one looks like for this lobby. We're going to get a kind of view of where people want to. Yeah, well, I mean, that's, that's the dream, but sometimes, dreams don't always come true, Matt. Sadly, the Disney movies lied to us.
Hey, we've been getting a lot of Jadina City finishes in America. I'd be fine with, well, not necessarily Jadina City, close to it. Those are really fun. And that's what sucks about the fact that we get so much test track is there's so many cool areas of this map that are really fun to play in. So.
I agree. I want to see one over by Long Ho. I've never seen one down there.
Who would want to see Long Ho?
Yeah, that's true. We had one
that's my favorite name out of any location.
We did have one southwest of Tin Long Garden at PNC, and that was pretty sick. That was like no one's ever seen this part of the map ever, except for like those weirdos like me who drive way on the outskirts of the map sometimes. But pretty fair plane path, just down the middle. So all the like big time drop spots like Stadium, Jiaotin, Test Track, going to be right in play. 17 and Na'Vi looking to split the test track. So that means that Twisted Mind finds themselves on the outside looking in from that usual area that they're dropping in. So they're going to be over to the east, claiming some of that real estate. The Freaks like Stadium if they can get it, so they'll be dropping there. T5's going north of that.
Yeah, I mean, our game yesterday did end around that Stadium area, just to the south of it, which is one of the cooler areas that I do like if we are going to be a bit more centralized. The outskirts of Stadium, I think, is really, really fun. So, ooh, yeah, get us away, get us down south. We got that river hook that's going to curve back around to Ringjiang, and that's actually one of my favorite parts of this map whenever we do see put pushes, because there's multiple paths that are available over there, and the way that the river kind of curves back around makes for some really awkward rotations and contained firefights that happen in different areas. Specifically, also, this is so far from plane path.
Yeah, this one is going to be good. A lot of opportunity for a team like Toyo to make a wide early southern wrap to claim some good real estate. Maybe the Expendables try to follow up on that. Things of that nature very much on the cards for these teams. TDT, man, I want to talk about TDT a little bit because, dude, they've been so good. I mean, it's just like Vietnam is just churning out incredible players recently. I mean, obviously you had, Cerberus there last year, and then the Expendables winning PGC, and then they win PNC finally after getting so many top 5 finishes. And now you've got TDT showing their individual skill as well. So this region is just stacked.
And if you guys have not been watching any of the APAC action as it happens regionally, do it. I mean, the casters are phenomenal. Love you guys and super nice. They always bring a ton of energy into the games. So tune in because they're some of the wildest, most fun games I can watch in PUBG.
They always are. They always have a different energy to them, that's for sure. And it's weird because it's gotten a little bit tighter with teams like T5 in there that kind of play a little more quote-unquote standard. But yeah, when you have the Vietnamese teams in there, they're just out there wild. And I mean, the Expendables in particular play such a different style than most teams out in the world these days. So they're super fun to watch. And TDT, it was just the individual brilliance that they're showing that is just so special.
You had a great clutch we saw inside last game. June also with some clutch plays. VP, who's just been a menace to this whole lobby today and having some big kill games. I love that for them. I am waiting for the Sleeping Giants at the bottom to start to awaken, though, as we do have ourselves the Freaks, Team Liquid, and T5, all big banger teams that have just not really had the start, but really, I mean, it is Erangel, and if I were to think about those 3 teams, they don't strike me as the Erangeliest of teams.
Yeah, they're happy to get out of old Neon Genesis Erangelion.
I love you.
Thanks. But it's it's tough. Like, I always see this with the Freaks. At every international event, they start slow. Like, day one of the group stage, it's like, oh, God, is this like, are they just falling apart? And then they just pick it up, and then they, get to the grand finals, and then they're smashing. But
Tell me about it. As every single time I do fantasy, it's like, I'm going to put Salute on my team. Day one of group stage does nothing.
Yeah, you got to learn.
Day two, he starts popping off, and you get the temptation for it. I'm like, no, I already had him on day one. I'm not going to get him on day three. It's like 5,000 points.
Yep, he's kind of good at that. But my frustration is that the Freaks don't learn their lessons sometimes coming into these international events, like from previous international events, quick enough. Like, it's like they want to play their game so bad. Like, when you watch them in PWS, they're a very different team than internationals. They can claim so much real estate for free. There's not as much weird stuff.
Sorry, I saw Team Liquid. Looks like they were getting pretty close to the split that was happening with T1 making a rotation, but it looks like I think the Team Liquid guys saw that. Desk was talking about how Team Liquid did end up missing out on the PGSs, so they're coming in a bit colder, and I don't know if that's a symptom to what we're looking at with their points, but that's its own problem, given the fact that this is a very short group stage, and we know that this is a team that can perform. They just really need to get their feet underneath of them.
Yeah. Well, this is a problem for T1 because they're going to have to sacrifice a vehicle to this situation. And Team Liquid there knows that they had an opportunity to at least punish that. They don't want to stick around too much longer, it looks like, and I think that's the wise decision here. Getting a fight this early, probably not ideal. Plus, you're taking some shots from range. The other T1 players have lined themselves up into a point where they could cover Type and Raining, so they're driving past 17 as well now, but 17 initially doesn't have the greatest of angles. That's a bugging for Luke, though. That's dangerous.
This is really close to Xiao Wu, but he can't quite get up the hill fast enough. Not even going to be able to take, well, maybe one parting shot. Yeah, not really worth it. So he's going to let that one pass. So Team Liquid sneak by T1, sneak by 17, and are pretty much center right now. The problem is the center has not got all of the best locations for it, but hey, this is open. Take it.
Absolutely. All right, so to finish my point, maybe we have time, about the Freaks real quick. Just the way that they have to adjust their play style versus what works in the PWS versus what doesn't work internationally. They're allowed so much freedom and respect in the PWS because everybody knows how good they are. And they've won so many domestic tournaments that teams just kind of know, okay, well, they're here.
Oh, Liquid spots out Tigger. Does get the flush onto him. That was pretty close with FS. The other guys are down the hillside taking some long-range shots, but I don't think it should be much more than that. We do have the emergency pickup that's pathing pretty close to this, where it looks like T5, they're about to hop into it. And TDT, you kind of in a weird neighborhood with the Expendables.
That is not the team you want to be running into. Although the Expendables taking a bunch of damage here from Toyo. Toyo, that team, they took a long time to make their rotation. The Expendables actually got ahead of them in terms of who could maybe move into this circle from some of those teams that were near Jadena City and north of it and things like that. So this is kind of an awkward situation that both teams find themselves in, but Toyo now using this damage that they've done to rotate past the Expendables.
I mean, two different team styles right there. Is the team, please do something, versus the team, please stop doing things for a second. As this is going to be very far down to the south, where Rom's going to be rotating way up in the north, not even inside the circle. VP not inside the circle yet, not making any big moves. Way down to the south, you can see we've got a couple of teams, well, at least one team that's thinking about coming in off this. So everything else has gotten pretty calm. Most teams going to be trying to avoid the hook that's coming around for the river. FN and Freak's going to be our furthest northern teams.
All right. Well, the Freaks are going to claim a lot of real estate up there. So they've got kind of into their comfort zone, I suppose I could say, but that's something that has caused them problems because, again, going into the fact that they get wide splits, they don't always watch their backs well at the international tournament. We saw that kill them against BS, and that is something that I've seen this year time and time again. So they got to be just a little bit more cautious, a little bit more thoughtful about how and when teams can make rotations, especially with teams like VP in this lobby who are more than happy to chew through blue for days and days. So you have to be very cautious. As speaking up, they're making a later rotation as expected around that southern edge. TDT very split up. Look at where Huang F is on the map. He's out in Narnia.
We were talking about how great T1 was doing yesterday, where they ended up at, I think it was like 51 points or something like that, if I remember correctly. Look at the fact that we look at VP, 22 points in 2 games. That's a high trending 11 points per game so far. That is a crazy start to this group stage. And this is a very strong lobby, whatever you look at it. So this is, if you're a VP fan right now, you're feeling really good about not just grand finals and getting in, but how they could perform.
For sure. 11 points per game is good enough to often put you in contention to win event. Now, this is group stage, so not as important in that regard, but it is still important that you're going to average points of that caliber to get through into that grand finals. And Lil Ghost, look at Khan. He's just tracking Lil Ghost. He's like, guys, he's on his own, maybe, but he's out of there pretty quick. So I think Buriram's going to have to kind of pull back because you don't know what's on the other side of that hill, and we can see it that Lil Ghost has regrouped with the rest of his team, so this is really good stuff. Khan can probably see it, so this is okay for Buriram, and this is great use of the glider, to be frank.
Yeah, they're going to have to stop because they've got Na'Vi that's going to start getting some vision on them in just a second. Then they've got Flash kind of chilling away from the other members of FS. Petrichor Road's going to be pretty close to that. Does look like T5 is going to take the very tail end of the circle for their emergency pickup. New circle's going to pop and go center.
How much do you want to bet T5 has another emergency pickup?
Ooh, that is...
They have another one.
Could you say that they maybe have 5 of them?
That's bad.
It's such a bad joke.
It's so bad.
I don't even feel bad about it. Okay, Circle has popped, but you know what does feel good? It is going to be Team Liquid and 17, both pretty much centered. Looks like 17's getting pretty close to Team Liquid, and Team Liquid's going to have to defend this pretty heavily as they're going to be a focal point for a lot of action. VP also needs to go through TDT to manage to make it inside the... Or, no, sorry, Toyo to make it inside the circle.
Yeah, this is kind of awkward for both of these teams. Toyo's actually pretty split. They've got a 2-on-1 going around this kind of field thing, and that's okay for now, but if VP gets a knock onto them and kind of reads the situation properly, they might just storm through here, knock 2 players of Toyo out. You can see VP kind of checking out what's going on and then also getting information. Nixie doing a good job there as the leader, finding out what's going on around this. So if they can cleanly take this fight, they're going to open up, and oh, it was so close to the knock. I love the patience and the timing. They just couldn't quite get it.
Okay, Toyo, how are you going to respond to this? You got a lot of friends. VP, I think, is just going to be comfortable with their damage. Just at least hitting those shots is going to mean the fact that they're not going to get harassed in rotation. But this puts them more to the south. By doing this movement, they're now going to be, there's Hwang F that's going to be coming in, trying to regroup with TT right through the thick of them, and also going to be near T5. Freak's going to find themselves pretty close to Petrichor Road over here. Petrichor Road trying to creep in back behind them. Shots exchanged does mean the Petrichor Road's going to go back up into the north. T1 just going to be north of that, doesn't have vision, so Petrichor Road should be fine for now.
So this is a bit dangerous for both of these teams because 17 and Team Liquid both have angles into these compounds, so they got to kind of take a pause here, figure things out. Meanwhile, there's a big fight going on with the Expendables and GSW. GSW losing CC and another knock there. In fact, they've got 3 players knocked. They've only got 1 alive. It's just done. Tanbu finishes the job with the Panzer. I love that view. You just see that rocket coming and you just have nothing you can do but watch.
Nom, 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 nom. He just ate that right to the face there. So, I mean, okay, that said, GSW, 6th place. Respect. They're doing good. Yes, that is an early out for them, but if you're a GSW fan, you're still feeling good after those first 2 games. The Expendables starting to be expendably, starting to find all the kills, starting to have some fun with it. 5 already, and we are still on circle number 2.
I like the way you adverb to their name. That's good. I appreciate that. This is like, again, you think back to that first Miramar game yesterday where it's like the Expendables start well, they get that kill, or a couple of kills here, and they just start to like snowball games.
I mean, that's the Expendables, right? Their early game plays either start well or they're the first team out.
Yeah, they just got problems. Like they hamstring themselves so much they can't do anything.
But I love the fact that everybody else is like, okay, we're playing for numbers, we're playing for Circle 2, and the Expendables are like, no, we will just make this work. We will figure out ways, we'll just get cleaner with it and cleaner with it. And it's fun.
Yeah,
I love it.
That's how they win events. I mean, like, because they're so opportunistic and they're willing to take those high percentage risks where a lot of teams wouldn't.
And if you've ever met these guys, like specifically like Duck Juice, you can understand their team dynamic. It's like, yeah, we know everybody else is doing this, but this is what we want to do, and this is the way we think that we can win.
They're just always having fun.
They're having fun, and they would rather take a 0 game and play it the way that they want because they have the upshot of having a 25-point game whenever it works. And that, I love it. I love that mindset because the confidence that it brings.
Absolutely. VP is making a bold move here in the center of the circle. This is very uncharacteristic, I would say, for them. They're usually a team that is happy to try and, play the edge, try to find their way through, even tank some blue, but they're going to see a position because of that glider and take a risk. Petrichor Road as well, making a mad dash to try to regroup. 2 players in this car. Can't find any damage, though, and they're getting shot in the back.
Here's the problem. They ran right at Petrichor, just runs right into Burram. Burram's now getting harassed by FS. Petrichor Road has to just run right through the gauntlet of it. Burram now curves back around up into the north. That's where Team Liquid and 17 are going to have some vision. VP are in the middle of this, just trying to get people to stop shooting at them. It's going to be the Expendables that now get some vision. Burram has to stop off in a ditch because there's no other options. They've got VP that's going to be right next to them. We still have Toyo that needs to get in the circle, as well as Twisted. Twisted's going to come in a bit slower, but this is going to be a replay of what we were watching. Give it to us. Give it to us.
This was just great from Tom.
Oh, Edie hits a good nade. That's 2 members of VP down.
I was watching that in the bottom right, Pip, and I was like, is he going to hit these grenades? Now VP in a ton of trouble. And they're going to lose a couple players for this, and this is starting to look very dicey for them. They made a gamble, and it is maybe not going to pan out.
Everybody is going. They're like, my points. And it's nades, mortars, blue. Look at that. That VP, there is nothing you could have done to survive there. That could have killed you like 3 times over.
Watching the Michael Bay movie. That's what Virtus.pro is doing, and just hoping that they don't. Akeleft is destroying people with a Dragunov.
Yeah, Burram in the same problem. These dips just not working for anybody. They thought maybe there would be some space, but there's a hill to the northeast, there's a hill to the south, and everybody's got some vision in it. Expendables in the middle of the circle. They're not going to let anybody near them. Then 17 as well.
Petrichor, they're driving into this.
Okay.
Akeleft in a car. He's got a machine gun, wanted to see what he could finish off. Just threw a grenade in there, got a knock, and they drive out, and they're going to try another direction. This is madness.
Do it again. You're not done yet. Glories wants a piece of it too. Nade's gonna bounce a bit far, but look at Ixlick laughing. He's loving this. This is just like a shooting gallery for him.
He wanted those points so badly, but those mortars, I think, might have been the thing that actually dissuaded them more than anything.
Glories! Yes! He says, "No, Ixlick, those are mine."
And it was the right decision to pull off there for Petrichor Road. I mean, that was going to be dicey if they stuck around. Who knows if that mortar misses and hits their car instead.
Dip definitely ain't free.
Nope.
Neither one of them, because, man, the whole lobby turned on those 2 dips. VP still has members alive, so respect. Circle pops, it does go down to the south. So that means that the Expendables are going to be in the middle to everybody's chagrin.
Yeah, that is not the team you want to have there. I mean, they are, in theory, very, very good at defending compounds. FN Polchon making an aggressive maneuver here, trying to find something. There's a little bit of cover in the middle of that circle, but they might take some damage on the way in, not sure. Team Liquid as well, going to be on the move. 17 waiting for the other teams to bypass. Team Twisted Minds on the backside of this, kind of maybe looking to do some third partying.
Okay, vehicle does flip, running through the wreckage. They're going to be running right next to the remnants of VP. VP's going to just try to shoot them away. Kurt does get taken down. Demi gets knocked. Whoa! Luke just pops him in the face with his car. Liquid trying to retaliate back, roaming down, and Sparking goes down. He was trying to go for a drive-by. VP does go down, but the road, I guess the field is just littered with Liquid players right now.
And it's opened up the door here for 17 Gaming to make a maneuver.
Oh, FS!
FS as well is driving in here in the Pico bus. This is going to get spicy. Everybody wants this dip that's on the northeast side because there isn't much else to play.
I mean, the Expendables heard this. They started looking into the north. They wanted a piece of it. FS roaming in back behind 17. This is just a bloodbath. All these teams are in a death funnel over into the northeast. You can see Team Liquid trying to get their feet back underneath them, but trying to get the reses, but 17 just hunting them down, dropping everything they can. Navi now rolling in as well. Twisted has the high ground. They're shooting into this. Liquid is out. Toyo's trying to regroup over here. Petrichor Road's taking shots into the east. There's nowhere to go. Everybody just keeps stopping, trying to pick up and vulture whatever kills they can find.
Oh, and by the way, T1's picked a fight with Twisted Minds on the outside of the news circle. Somehow, some way, Navi's gotten into some relative amount of safety. And here's Twisted Minds. They're actually pulling back a little bit off of this fight, trying to find some new angles to contain T1 as best as they can. But T1 actually finds the opening knock here onto Perfectix. I think that's a BRDM if my eyes don't deceive me there for Twisted. They're trying to use that to just tank their way literally into this new circle, but they're getting cut down by Petrichor Road.
They're not even in the circle yet. They're right on the edge of it. So they still need to move forward just a bit more. T1, do you want this? Petrichor Road holding back like you were talking about with Twisted. Everything else is now kind of calmed down, but the Expendables still own center. We have an awkward situation going on with T5, Na'Vi, and I guess FS's Flash kind of holding in over here. So they're kind of just holding down these little bit of dips. T1, now it's your time to go, and they're running right next to Twisted. They're going after 17's position, and just crates galore over there. They spin back around, but no, it's going to be 17 from behind that just starts raining in death and destruction. This field is cursed.
I think this was a bit of a miscalculation here by T1. Thought that maybe 17's position would be safe, but they opened themselves up to some angles of the Expendables, plus a great grenade there from, I believe it was Xiao Wu of 17. So E-End, the IGL for T1, played anchor and is going to be the sole survivor trying to snake out points. But again, there just isn't much to work with. We've seen so many teams try to find something in this circle, and other than the compounds that teams already have claimed, mainly the Expendables, there just isn't much to work with.
Okay, quick breathing note as we are going to be going back into this field yet again. We still have Petrichor Road, Twisted, Ian, Freaks, T5, and TDT that all have to go into this exact same no cover position. At this point, players are wishing that crates on the ground provided cover so that way you could have something to hide behind.
You're going to throw every emergency cover flare you have here because you have to find something somehow, some way. Twisted might just have to, yeah, they just have to go at something somewhere. This is great use of the BDRM. Oh, but Batulin just took a grenade right underneath his car, down to 19 HP, and just you could see him shake his head a little bit there. Gonna have to stop off to heal, and Twisted has to figure this out. They have to regroup, and 17 trying to put some hurt down, and it's Hanbu and it's the Expendables.
7-7, how much more do you want? He wants to get at least another point or two, something out of it. Lou gonna bring the BDRM right up on top of him and be like, where are you trying to hide, buddy? There's nowhere to go, Xiao Wu. We're just gonna continue on. I mean, it doesn't turn the best, so instead you just gotta look at Lou. He's like, what do I even do here? I can't turn, I can't do anything. Xiao Wu can't really do anything back to him. 7-7 finally goes down. Petrichor Road just kind of watching all of this. This is a nutty match.
It is really wild. Xiao Wu here actually doesn't, well, he throws the molly at the bottom of it. I love this. Oh, he's got a C4 though. That forces him out. Lou wins the battle. Well played there by Lou. That got real scary real fast, and he was able to find the timing.
But Tanvu, Delwyn have now left that compound. They're seeing if maybe they can scavenge up some more. Lou still has himself a very defendable mobile unit to work around with. Petrichor Road still is coming. To the south, though, we have TDT as well as T5, both hopping in vehicles roughly the same time, rotating up next to each other. So it's going to be a bit of a skirmish due to happen as there is still a compound that was open. T5 managed to steal it away.
This is going to sound bonkers, but I almost favored TDT. Oh, that's a nice shot there. Oh, Rex has a Mark 14, actually. I thought it was a grenade that was going to get the knock on to June. It's actually Rex from afar. TDT needs to get some util into place. They need to do some damage. Here come the Freaks, though. They're swinging in from the bottom.
Are they coming after this one? Na'Vi is trying to hold out Petrichor Road, and that's the only reason this fight is staying contained for the time being. But Freaks do get vision of what's happening. DL does line in. Zoo is going to go down. TDT in some trouble. Too many people coming after him, and they are going to go down.
Freaks here having a little bit of trouble getting fully into this circle, though. Salute got pinned down momentarily by the Expendables, but it looks like he's found just enough safety. You have FN Pochon still locking down a compound of their own. They're going to be in the next circle, so are the Expendables, so those are going to be very nice. Good grenade here from Axleft, who's got that machine gun again, looking to put it to good use. Going to throw a molly out right into all that cover, trying to see if he can catch Na'Vi hiding.
Okay, Axleft. You're going to have to be just bold. You just have to run through it. Support's coming. Chewy does get the knock onto one. Follow-ups are coming out. Na'Vi wants to try to hold the line, but Axleft just denies it all. Na'Vi goes down. Petrichor Road continuing to push in. Circle stays elusive and moves more west, so they're not in it yet.
Love the way Axleft plays this. He doesn't go for the flushes initially. You would think with a machine gun, you're just going to hold the left trigger down, claim some free points, but he says, okay, you've got 2 knocks. I'm going to find the last 2. You guys keep distracting. I'm just going to push through, get these kills, make sure we wipe them out very cleanly and efficiently. That is really good on-the-fly thinking from the leader of Petrichor Road.
Freaks Human looks like he's starting to eye the T5 position. Does manage to kind of squeeze in there, so the rest of the Freaks could be coming up back behind him, but looks like they realize that the threat that could exist over here, so this could be a very hard position for T5 to hold down. Is on the other side of it, Petrichor Road does hear this bit of a firefight that's happening. Petrichor Road, though, has to be careful. They still have Flash. It's going to be next to him. FN is going to be across from the Freaks, so that's going to stall out their positioning for now. The entirety of the North pretty much belongs to the Expendables, which should terrify everybody. This is an extremely strong lobby still alive.
Oh, God, yes. This is such a stacked lobby. Ming Ming actually found the knock on the DL there. So the old player named Bob Songhead previously is going to go out here. DNF, the good news for them is I think T5 expended all their utility, so at least they aren't going to suffer from a nade barrage, but they're kind of trapped in this little dip that they have for now. Meanwhile, FN Pochon just kind of stretching out, just seeing if they can find themselves some kills. Right now, they don't have any in this game.
So the way this plays is TE's position is great, but it's kind of sloped down the hillside, so that's why they keep kind of exploring further up, trying to see if they can get involved in this, because this has been a brutal game with a lot of kills stacking in. They know that there's still a Twisted member up there, and they're trying to hunt that down right now, and that's kind of containing in what's going on with Petrichor Road. They can't move too much. They've got Flash that's right down below them. Lou finally does go down, so that's going to open up some more space for the Expendables to work with. So it's pretty much two contained arenas of battle. Up in the north, we're going to have the Expendables, Petrichor Road, as well as Flash still being alive. Down to the south, it's going to be the Freaks as well as FN, with maybe T5 being involved, but the Freaks are starting to get a bit more mobile. Flash finally goes down, so that's going to open up Petrichor Road a bit more. Freaks do look like they want to go after FN, though.
This is a really nice situation. The Freaks found some good grenades, some good shots. FN was constantly having to go for reses, and they had to place Rex out front to try to slow down the Freaks, but he could not get the job done. They found a good grenade, and now they're looking to finish the job here. Heaven pushing around the smokes, looking for the last alive player. Blue Zone's out as well, right on top of Americano. He's just hunkering down. He's trying to heal through it. He does get the first aid off just in time, but there's more Blue Zones, and he's gone.
All right, and it's going to be Duck Juice that picks that one up, pushing them up to 15 kills for the Expendables. We talked about this squad could be explosive, and they are destroying this lobby right now.
It's exactly what I thought. As soon as they got that first big win, they just heat up. Fluky there. Oh, go for the arc shot, my guy. Do it. Go for that big one. The Freaks took some damage here, and now T5 knows they have an opportunity to scoop up some points, maybe relatively easily.
Everything's converging onto the Freaks. TE also on foot pushing the other side. They don't have the time to go for these reses. Glorious. All right, he gets a knock onto one. Fluky can't find out anybody on the Freaks yet, and the Expendables want it. They know that there's more points to be had, and they want to continue the climb. Duck Juice leading the way on one side of it, using the cover, bouncing between, got some friends with him, and Calores, who's just walking through, does not even care, does go down. Finally, those Guman does knock down him and Duck Juice both.
That's huge, though. Oh, it's Fluky. It's Fluky. Oh, the Panzer hit him. Oh, yes, he got the follow-up with the got the knock here. Now Petrichor Road swinging in to try to finish what other teams started.
Left comes in hot and heavy and gets taken down. T5 now in momentum position. Petrichor Road playing up into the north. Delwyn still alive for the Expendables, but he's way up into the northeast. You can see him on the minimap down there. He can't get involved. TE is pretty much done. Now it's going to be T5, Petrichor Road lined up against each other.
Man, that hero play from Guman just ruined the Expendables round. It looked like they were going to rack up like a 20-kill win. Instead, Guman got 2 kills, and that opened the door there for T5 to make a push. Left sent it, just seeing if he could find some freebies with all those knocks. He got stopped. Delwyn was trying to contain Petrichor Road, but they found an escape valve right through the center of the circle to try to get over to that fight, and now they're down arguably their best player.
Team presently in first. Delwyn in the Expendables goes for the nade. Is it going to bounce right? No. It's going to hit mostly the car. He's now revealed his position. Petrichor Road has to deal with him now. Chewy looking over here. It looks like Nan is also going to be going for a flank position. Delwyn reads that, though. He's instead going to be playing more down to the south. Has to be careful because Rosted Jr. might get some vision on him in just 1 second. He's going to be walking right out in the middle of this. Rosted, ooh, he spots Rosted first. Drops down to his belly, but Rosted knows exactly where he is. Neuron, no cover to be had for Delwyn. He's just creeping out, and he is pretty much done unless he manages to hit a shot back. Nope. There, it's all she wrote. T5 at 4 members up. Petrichor Road with 3.
Great read from the veteran for Theraton 5.
17 kills for Expendables.
Dude, that's a phenomenal game. They're going to probably have the most points, unless even if T5 cleans us out. Actually, it'll be even. But anyway, this is a really nice game for the Expendables. But that's a great read from Rossiter Jr. to shut down that extra angle. That really gives them a great ability to play kind of a contained, play a concave on top of Petrichor Road, just pin them on the bad side of the circle, and they should have full control of this endgame unless there's some kind of heroics here from Petrichor Road, but you never know. Guys like Nan and Ming Ming in the lobby, Chewy as well, they could definitely turn this fight on its head.
3 squads just feasted on everybody in this field. And it was the Expendables presently at 17, Petrichor Road at 8, and T5 sitting at 10. T5 picking up most of their kills at the end of this one. Petrichor Road, Axelift, I guess he was feeling himself, got a bit too much involved in. I mean, you're driving around in a competitive match just trying to shoot people, throw nades. He was having fun with it, but it did come at a cost. So this is a 4v3, and Petrichor Road without Axelift is not as strong. There's no other nice way to say it, but this is still an incredibly strong squad.
Yes.
Issue is that T5 owns most of the circle right now.
There was a time where a lot of us thought Ming Ming might be the best rifler in the world. So this is absolutely doable.
Yeah.
Absolutely doable. But yeah, no, I mean, still though, Axelift is your best player, regardless, for Petrichor Road. And I get why they made that move, because there were so many players knocked over in this little compound. Sure, why not send it, see what you could get done? It's totally fine. And again, Petrichor Road knew they weren't going to have much to work with in this circle anyway. So it's kind of, in my opinion, the okay decision. Now, Nan here, if he can win this battle out on an edge, somehow get a random knock on the Padampong, then all of a sudden, it's a very different fight. They could maybe push up towards the edge of this hill a little bit closer. The issue is that it's so flat on the way to Fluky. I mean, T5 just has to play this safe, force Petrichor Road to come up and over that hill, but Padampong is in kind of an awkward position.
The thing about it is T5 has the high ground already secured, but they're kind of separated out. If we see Petrichor Road manage to get a couple of picks here or there, T5 can't really respond back into it too much. It's a lot of isolated control positions that each one of the members for T5 is playing right now. Path and Pong, you're seeing it right now, isolated, trying to use those smokes to see if he can regroup. Fluky takes some damage. Chewy does reveal himself. This crested position could be big for Petrichor Road. If Chewy can get a knock or 2 here, the entirety of this game changes. That nade, I think, is going to go too far. Path and Pong, I don't think that T5 realize how close Petrichor Road is to them.
Yeah, it's been really quiet here from Chewy. He got a lot of damage onto Fluky, and now he's trying to just creep his way forward. Their stun doesn't even really connect. Chewy able to turn that well enough. They're throwing out some stuns of their own now. Chewy, not sure if that Panzer has a shot in it or not, but he's trying to play forward, trying to play aggressive, but these stuns, just infinite util that T5 was able to scoop up off of all those dead bodies that were down in that compound.
Versus Petrichor Road, who was kind of trapped off in their own area. They did get a lot of kills over there, but they didn't get really a chance to stop in the same way. Some damage going on to Path and Pong yet again. All the members of Petrichor Road trying to use those smokes, get something out of it. They just can't secure a knock just quite yet. Big flank looks like it's trying to come out from multiple members of Petrichor Road. They're just trying to encroach in on this low side of the hill. Path and Pong still low on life. The other members for T5 going to regroup. They're going to use the rock, recover. Big shots coming up. It looks like it was going to be Ranger X trying to pin in. Shield's going to find, but Chewy finds one, turning this into a 3v3.
All these smokes that had to come out are a real problem if Fluky gets up on top of that rock. Forgot about him for just a second. Chewy was trying to see if he could sneak underneath his nose, but Fluky, now the smokes are starting to expend, and now T5 has a great opportunity to close this out.
Yeah, there's just nothing left, and that is going to be T5 picking up an amazing win in an absolutely crazy game.
That one was super fun. That is just chaos in that circle. So many teams having to make decisions because of the nature of the terrain that is left to work with. There's only